Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you do for a living?
Well, my background, I am a retired insurance industry executive kind of guy. I've spent 47 years operating a retail brokerage here in Los Angeles, California, and that has probably been the basis for my success. I graduated with degrees in finance, insurance, and risk management of all things in the world, which applies to analysis of financial instruments and but I knew I was going to go into the insurance business, and I did, and I've been very successful at that, honestly. And so from 1977 on, I've been investing in all the assets that anybody my age, I'm 72, might have had options to get involved with, including the first IRAs, which were established then. I invested in those. 401ks, oh yeah, I had that. And other pension operations and pension plans. But then I started operating my own portfolios within those platforms and have done very well.
How did you get involved with investing in crypto and decentralized finance?
I was involved in Centralized using a centralized platform to kind of learn a little bit about Bitcoin. I didn't really learn enough, but I got involved and I started paying attention to at least the pricing for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, some of the assets. And I was paying attention to what they were about in parallel with my already understanding of 40 years of equities investing. Yeah, I was using that experience anyway to go, is this an area that I want to be in on the centralized side? But then this interested me enough that I started paying more attention to what is this really about? And reading, and I'm a reader, learning what's really going on. I decided that decentralized finance would definitely be more interesting and possibly more lucrative than paying brokers to handle my problems and or to be the trustees of my or trustors of my funds when you can handle them yourself. And that kind of thing really interested me. So that's why I got involved in Decentralized. I realized I kind of want to do this myself and get maybe closer to the actual activity that's generating this interest and this the management of these assets where they really live on the internet.
What made you want to get into decentralized finance specifically?
On the decentralized side, I became aware because of my just what I do. I read, I pay attention. I'm pretty connected human. And I realized that you could generate earnings with assets in the decentralized world and generate better or more direct earnings than you're getting if you just happen to put $100 in your bank account and they pay you 2%, which isn't fair because I actually understand finance. I've got an education that 50 years of understanding what this is. I know how much money my bank makes. I get it. If I give them $1,000 and they offer me a CD to tie up my money for 6 months or something, they'll give me 2%. Bless their hearts. I know that they're actually getting lent that money at 1%. They're lending it to me at 2%. And then it turns around that if I give them my money, now they're lending it out at 6%. I'm not making any money. They're making money on my money. And I know that. I know that. That's part of my career. I understand how banks make a living. But I realized by reading that, decentralized finance, all those middlemen are cut out. They're not there. If you want to provide liquidity, you can get a really nice return on your money. And you don't have to be involved in, here goes, USDC or US dollars. You want to be involved in, yen or something else or the pound, the British pound. You can do whatever you want and get a direct return. And you can jump in and out as often as you want. You can actually lend money for 6 months, 5 days, 4 months, or whatever you wish, and exit. And I realized that's very powerful, and that really interested me. And the second side of it was that, yes, what's the story with? And I started learning what's with Bitcoin. What is that about? What is Ethereum? What is Solana? What are they doing? And I wanted to know, and I didn't know. And I decided that I wanted an education. And I started looking for who would teach me bottom up what's really going on over there. I needed help. That's what I got involved with.
What made you feel comfortable entering into a partnership with Decentralized Masters?
I run to the largest or most widely visually seen places just to see what they're doing. Decentralized Masters is out there. You want to go to the internet? I'm going to run into you guys. You're advertising, and I can see it. And then I went and looked at what the DM was also about, with regard to the structure, and asked some questions and said, all right, it's clear that if I'm looking for a more sophisticated and handheld education, that's how I've gotten educated in a lot of businesses that I've been involved with. These guys seem to have experts that will provide you with direct personal training, mentoring in the areas that you're interested in this decentralized world.
How has Decentralized Masters delivered on the promises that were made to you initially?
When I signed up, I didn't hold back. So I jumped into maybe a level of involvement with DM that was maybe more than I ever needed. I don't know. I just decided I wanted the full treatment. I want to know what this is. So I wrote a check. I didn't ask any questions about any other levels of, is there a seminar to go to? I don't know. And from the very first day, I was getting the direct attention of what I wanted, of mentors calling me and contacting me and saying, Rick, let's get you started. Here's the online programs we want you to go through. We want you to take these or go watch this video, learn something about that, and then we want to talk to you about it. We want you to demonstrate that you've not only watched it, learned something, validated that you were listening, and then we want to talk to you about that in more depth to be sure as you go to your next step, you're comfortable with the things that were the building blocks that we're trying to give you to move forward. I found that process lots of fun. The videos, the Zoom classes, the direct involvement with a mentor that was guiding me. And I was committed to this, by the way. I'm retired. I got nothing else to do. I blew right on through all 5 levels probably in about 2 weeks. I literally was just focused. I spent 100, 150 hours a week or more just watching this stuff, learning it, immersing myself in what I wanted to know.
What would you say to someone who is thinking about joining Decentralized Masters or getting into the decentralized finance space in general?
Again, I'm a wealth manager. That's partly what I did in my life. I'm an insurance broker. I'm a risk manager. I won't talk about my career a little bit, but except to say this, I've saved my clients millions and millions of dollars over the 45 years that I've been in business, helping them keep from getting burned. And it had to do with insurance and other risk management principles. And my clients to this day like me. I play golf with them. A lot of them thank me for their careers. I was good at what I did. I'm a teacher also and an advisor. But jumping into this world, which I didn't know anything, I don't know anything about decentralized finance. The desire to get into it, I think, is very important. I'll say it this way. I paid an awful lot for an education when I was in college. I went to a very expensive university, and I digested all of that, and I've used it to my benefit for 50 years. My education was worth it. The time that I spent there was well spent. And I have also spent a great deal of time learning other things throughout my life, and in some cases, major commitments to that. So how do you tell somebody to do this? Oh, well, you absolutely tell them that they should be aware of it. So the first thing is there's another way. And I try to make people aware of that. So yes, get an education. By the way, the good news is there's books, really good books. And if I can convince these people to just read a first book and they're really interested and they want to talk to me, I say, talk to me some more. If you've read this and you understand what I just told you about, for instance, Bitcoin, or I've told you something about what's going on with inflation, or what's going on that could affect your acquisition of wealth because you're very young and you have a long runway. And if you get involved in that runway the right way, you're going to be really happy you knew something early on that helped you. Then that's pretty important education. And I would recommend that highly.
Would you recommend Decentralized Masters to someone who's thinking about joining?
Yes, I would. I absolutely believe that the time that I've spent learning the first part of this and how it will help me for the next 25 years if I'm still around. I'm very, very happy to have done this. And by the way, I'm committed. I mean, I'm liquidity. I'm looking at the number right now, 23%. 23% of my personal liquidity right now is in DeFi. I'm happy with it. I'm comfortable with that. And by the way, I would swap around. I would not be surprised if at one point it was 50% or 10, because I understand it now as a vehicle. It's a practical, wealth building asset that you should have some diversified interest in because it's rewarding if you pay attention and do it to suit your own abilities and interests. You'll do very well. And so I would highly recommend it to some of my friends.